Hi, folks. It's Raina here. I want to say thank you to all my new subscribers from all over the world. And I want to make a couple of announcements. The first is that I am starting to do on demand monthly videos in which you can send me your personal birth data and I can do a reading for you for any 30-day consecutive period that you would like. Wow, Leo. Happy birthday to those born in August, and I hope you Leos that celebrated in July had a wonderful birthday time. I think this is going to be a game changer for you guys from the cards that I've drawn and looking at the actual transits. What I'm going to be doing this month is I pick three cards to cover the period from the blue moon on July 31st until the new moon on August 14th. And then, so that, covers half of the month. And then three more cards to cover the period from the new moon to the full moon on August 29th. And we can just say it's until the end of the month. And then I picked a card to symbolize the month as a whole. So that card that I picked was the Wheel of Fortune. And the Wheel of Fortune is a card that is really about game changing events that have nothing to do with us, that are kind of from above. And this is a very positive card. This is a very exciting card, I would say. And I think that it's no coincidence that I picked this card during the time of Leo. Not only the sun in Leo, but we still have this Jupiter in Leo going until the 11th of August. And then what happens, Leo? What happens to Jupiter? Well, it goes from your first house to your second house. So your second house is the house of earned income. So can you handle having your income blessed for a whole year? I think so. So it just goes from great to even better. And the other transits that are kind of happening right now, Venus is in actually starting from July, the end of July, but there will be an exact conjunction with Jupiter on the very first day of the month, and then it's going to be within orb the first 8 days of August. So it's a very, I would say, serendipitous, lucky time for, probably all of us, but particularly for you guys. And the other thing that's happening in the first couple of weeks of the month is that Mercury is going into Virgo on the 8th, and that will be going into your second house. So there'll be a lot of thought about your earned income and what you can do about that. But that means that for the first week, it's going to be also concentrated in that first house of the self. And that's a house that Leo is very comfortable in because you are a very confident sign usually. And so showing who you are is second nature to you. And during the time when you have a concentration of plants in the first house, the person feels like all eyes are on them. And for some people, that can be almost a little bit unnerving, but not for Leo. It actually makes you enhanced in some way. It makes you feel more powerful, it makes you feel more energized. And so I think this month is going to be great in that respect as well. So let me talk about the cards that I picked for the first half of August. I picked the Nine of Wands, the Death card in reversed, and the Justice card. The Nine of Wands is a card that shows somebody in the Rider-Waite deck, at least, who is kind of warily, looking around. And very much on guard. And this is a card that suggests that you will have your defenses going big time during the first half of August for some reason. Now, because I drew the Justice card in this line of cards, I suspect that some of you will be going through some sort of legal entanglement, and that there might be a decision that is in your favor during this time, although I cannot say that it will definitely be during the first half of the month. It could be something that is just in the works, but you will get exactly what you deserve, and it seems like it will be something good, like not that you're going to get your comeuppance or anything like that. But you're going to be not the typical warm, you know, everybody is, above board type of character that you usually are. You're going to be a little bit more savvy and, you know, remember that saying, just because I think you're after me doesn't mean I'm paranoid or something like that. So it's good sometimes that we watch our backs. Sometimes, especially fire signs. I am a Sagittarius. We tend to be very gullible because we believe the best in other people. And I hate to put it like that, but sometimes you have to protect yourself. And this might be one of those times when there's something in the hopper, like a court case or some official type of thing where some kind of verdict or some kind of decision is made, and you have to be on guard. And it's okay, it is what it is. It certainly isn't a bad thing. It's just, not allowing yourself to engage in any kind of wishful thinking that would just assume that everybody is as above board as you are, because sometimes that's just not so. And then the card in the middle is the death card in reverse. So it suggests that if you are somebody who is wrangling over an estate, that you are getting over this loss and you are ready to move on. You are ready to settle the case. Or it could be like a divorce too. It could be some kind of a legal separation, a divorce, that sort of thing, or an inheritance type of deal, an estate situation that involves somebody who has passed on. So, whatever the situation is, you are not, in that space of the sense of loss. You are now recovering from it. And the fact that the Justice card was drawn after that means that there's some kind of a wonderful wrap up that will be given to you in your favor at some point. And it could be sooner than later because of all these other wonderful transits that we are seeing during the month of August for you. Okay, so this leads us up to the new moon, which is occurring on the 14th of August at 9:53 a.m. Central Standard Time at 21 degrees of Leo. 2 plus 1 equals 3. That's an abundance number. That's just an extra thing. So in this case, the new moon in your sign is your new solar cycle, and this is a great time to do manifestation desires for the coming 12 months. And what's great about this new moon is that Mars will be going into Leo on the 8th. And so you're going to have this sense of being energized by the time of the new moon, because with Mars in the 12th house, until the second week of August, there's still some of this kind of otherworldly energy that is a little bit murky, a little bit hard to pin down, and it can sap your physical strength as well. So I think this will be a really great time for you around the middle of the month. And let me talk about these cards that I drew for the second half. Now, the Queen of Wands is a card that is like a fire sign woman. It could be you, since you're a fire sign. Doesn't have to be a specific gender. It could just be that nurturing energy because queens represent mothers. It could be your literal mother if you have a mother that is a fire sign or exhibits qualities that are involving enthusiasm, generosity, the positive thinking type of mentality. But whatever it is, I think it might be you, to tell you the truth. And the fact that it's a queen, I think represents the fact that Leo is royalty anyhow, and the fact that you are on top of the world and you're kind of you know you're the queen of the world, you're and it's the feminine principle is the nurturing principle, but that also means that there's a lot of, I would say, like, kind of the material blessings and the material energy and the creativity that wands represents as well. The fire energy is creative energy, and so there can be a lot of, I mean, it could even relate to fertility, but it doesn't necessarily have to be with actual children. It could be with your own projects that you're doing that are of an artistic nature, anything along those lines. And then you got the Devil card. And this is a card that some people think, oh my God, what does this mean? And it really means like stinking thinking, like not law of attraction type of thinking, negative patterns that you might still have vestiges of. And this second half after the new moon is a time to really eradicate those last remnants of it. Leo doesn't have as a sign that proclivity very much. It's a very positive sign. It's a very generous sign. It's a very non fear based. It's a very strong, brave sign, but it could represent addiction. And, as you go into your new solar cycle, it's a great time to kind of get rid of what no longer serves you and start with a clean slate. So it's just kind of popping in there to act as a reminder, I guess. And I'm sure all of us can think of some area that we need improvement on in this regard. So this isn't anything really that big because you have so many wonderful cards that I think it's just going to remind you to always keep on that, you know, keep the high watch, as they say in Unity. And then the last card that I drew is the Ten of Pentacles. And it doesn't get much better than that, especially, materially. It's all about, it's actually an inheritance card. So if it's, and as I placed it on my board, it's right below the Justice card. So it could be, and I think it is indicating that this matter, whatever it is, whether it is an actual court or some other kind of venue where something is being sorted out and it does relate to material goods, that it's coming in. Your ship is coming in. And it's also a very stable influence. Not only is it materially abundant, but it represents a constancy, a permanence. And so I think that is the icing on the birthday cake, Leo. And I hope you enjoyed this. If you would like a private reading with me, I'm still going to have my discounts for all of my different services. And all you have to do is click on the link below and it'll take you right there. Have a great month, Leo. Bye.